Hey. Hi, this is going to be my top 20 favorite horror movies list. Some of these movies I might go in depth a little bit about the plot, some I won't. It's just what I can remember, but I'm mostly just going to talk about why I like them. So, starting at number 20 is Hatchet from Adam Green, old school American horror. This film, this is really good. This one's really funny. Uh, It has great kills. It's not really scary, but it's not too stupid and funny. Has a good balance. Kane Hodder is in this, who played Jason in Friday the 13th, Part 7, 8, 9, and X. Uh, he's Hatchet Face, or Victor Crowley. It does really, really good in this one. The kills in this movie are crazy, ridiculous, and over the top. It's very gory, but very funny. The cast is great. You know, this one guy who broke up with his girlfriend doesn't want to be with his friends at Mardi Gras, and this other friend of his tags along with him. They go on a haunted swamp tour, and they end up in Victor Crowley's swamp. So, Hatchet. Check this one out. Watch it. It's really good. Um, Number 19 is Pumpkinhead. I think most people probably know Pumpkinhead. It's the story of a father whose son is killed in an accident by these vacationing people, and they all retreat to the cabin. Um, one of them wants to call the police, the other one doesn't, and they start fighting. Ed Harley takes his son to a witch that he knows of, and she, using his blood, resurrects the demon Pumpkinhead, a demon of vengeance, and the demon sets out to kill these people who killed his son. But Ed Harley soon finds out him and the monster are tied together very closely, and it's a very grim fairy tale. It's really good. Pumpkinhead is a must watch. Number 18 is from the Friday the 13th series, and it is the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th. Never mind the shirt. Somebody got mouthy. It's covered in some blood right now. Uh, so, yeah, the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th I thought was very well done. You can even look at it as a sequel in the series if you wanted to. There's nothing in it really that changes that. Jason does have the sack head again. The sack mask, I think, is actually better in this one than in the original Part 2. This one seeks to combine elements of 2 and 3. 1, 2, and 3, I guess. Jason can run in this one. He sets traps. He uses a bow and arrow. He's got tripwires put up. I really like the Jason this one. He's much more of a hunter, almost like Rambo Jason. The only bad thing about this one is the stupid tacked on ending. Kind of ruins it, but overall, Friday the 13th, 2009 is a great addition to the series. Moving on, we have at number 17, Army of Darkness, the third in the Evil Dead series. This one is really good. It goes more comedy than horror, but it's bigger than the other Evil Deads. Ash gets trapped back in time in the medieval ages. He has to acquire the Book of the Dead to get home. But Ash being Ash, he screws things up, unleashes the Deadites, and has to battle them with the army at the castle. This one goes for more comedy, but it's really good. It doesn't really have any gore, but a lot of slapstick humor, but it's done really well. It's Bruce Campbell, so it's a good one. And number 16 is Evil Dead 2, which has tons of gore, tons of wackiness and weirdness with it. Bruce Campbell's evil hand, evil Ash, the whole cabin coming to life and laughing at Ash at one point. This one is a remake and a sequel to the first Evil Dead. The first 15 minutes, I believe, are a remake. The rest is sequel. But this one, again, really good. Funny, bloody as hell, and just a good time. Evil Dead 2. Number 15 is Trick or Treat. This is a amazing movie. This is the best Halloween movie ever. It's a horror anthology. It tells, I can't remember how many stories, but a number of stories that all take place in Halloween night that are all connected by this guy here, Sam, who looks like a little boy out on Halloween, but is much, much more. Yeah, this is just a perfect movie to watch in Halloween. It is dripping with the spirit of Halloween, so this one's really good. And now, number 14 is The Devil's Rejects, Rob Zombie's one and only good movie. Sequel to House of a Thousand, but only because it has these characters in it, right here. Otis, played by Bill Moseley, and it's his best role ever. He's amazing. Sid Haig is Captain Spaulding, and Sherry Moon Zombie is Baby. It's about them being on the run after their house is raided by the police. The sheriff, the brother of a cop killed in the first one, is hunting them, and he's just as crazy as they are. This one is brutal. It's fun. It's a great movie. Great movie from Rob Zombie. Number 13 is Hellraiser, which has a crazy plot. Basically, it's about these demons called Cenobites. They're demons to some, angels to others. It's about pleasure and pain, revenge, hell. It's crazy. It has great effects. It has a great villain in Pinhead. Or is he a villain? This one's fun, but hard to explain. This one is extremely gory and painful with the chains and the, yeah. But find this one, watch it. Really good. Next up is, at number 12, is Scream. Scream was very original when it came out, and it kicked open the door for slashers, to reinvent slashers in the 90s. It basically brought the genre back, introduced a great villain in Ghostface. It had so many great nods to other horror franchises. Very original, very good. Scream was just a ton of fun. Its sequel is also good. Scream 3 sucks. But Scream, the original, is a great horror classic. Now, at number 11, we have, speaking of classic, Psycho. The Alfred Hitchcock classic film about Norman Bates and his hotel and his extreme mommy issues. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows the story of Psycho. I don't really need to go into this one, but there's great acting, great directing. This film is just almost perfect. It is one of the originators of slashers. It kicked open the door again for what would come after it. So it's Psycho. It's a pure classic. Number 10, going back even further than Psycho, Universal Monsters Frankenstein, which, it's Frankenstein. It's a classic movie. It's my favorite of the Universal Monsters. I've always liked Frankenstein. He was basically the Jason of his time, in that he was big, and he didn't talk, and, he's basically Jason Voorhees has a lot of things in common with Frankenstein. But this movie is great. I love the black and whiteness of it. This is actually the Legacy Collection, which has all of the movies on it. But yeah, Frankenstein's a classic. Great movie. Number 9, New Nightmare from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. New Nightmare is really good. It revived Freddy. I think it did what Scream did, but earlier. It took the series and pointed the finger at it. The genre, it reinvented Freddy after Freddy decided to become a clown, especially after Freddy's dead. This brought Freddy back to being darker, scarier. It pokes fun like I say, at the other Freddy. And it takes it out of the film world and puts it into our world. And this was Wes Craven's return to the series. This one is really, really good. New Nightmare. Highly recommend checking that one out. Heather Langenkamp returns as Nancy, and other great stars from the series return. New Nightmare. And at number 8, Friday the 13th, Part 4. Probably the best sequel in the whole series. It's not my favorite, but it feels the best put together out of all of them. This is the introduction of Tommy Jarvis, played by Corey Feldman. It has the best group of teens of the entire series. Yeah, the Friday the 13th Part 4. Great movie. The only one where Jason actually does die. And then at number 7, we have Friday the 13th Part 6, which is my absolute favorite. It's the rock and roll one. Tommy's back again. It has a lot of in-jokes. It's got more humor. It has a great Jason. Friday the 13th Part 6 is my favorite one. And then we have Back to Freddy again. At number 6, The Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors expands the story of what happened in the first one. The idea brings together a group of kids to battle Freddy to become the Dream Warriors. Nancy returns. Nightmare 3 Dream Warriors. Probably actually is the best sequel, not counting New Nightmare. Counting within the universe of the films through Nightmare to Freddy's Dead, Nightmare 3 is the best sequel. And we have Curse of Chucky is number 5. This brought Chucky back to being dark, scary after the god-awful horrid that was Seed of Chucky. Curses, it takes place mostly in one location, but it is great. It is a wonderful, wonderful sequel. I love this movie. I love the character of Chucky in it. You love to hate Chucky in this one. I love the character of Nika. You feel for her. It has a great end credit scene. Like, Curse of Chucky is phenomenal. Number 4, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. I'm not a big fan of the original. I understand what it did for horror and what it is, but I like the remake. Leatherface is big, mean, brutal, nasty, fast. And this one, I love his look. I love the character of the sheriff by Ari Ermi. He's phenomenal. He makes the movie. I like the new family. I like everything about the remake. Texas Chainsaw, I love. At number 3 is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Halloween 2 might be the best sequel, H2O maybe, for proper. But as far as just being another sequel, I really like Halloween 4. It's got action. It's got a good story of Michael returning, come after his niece. Loomis is great in it. Halloween 4 is a lot of fun. I think it's the most fun I have watching Halloween movies, Halloween 4. Number 2, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. I mean, it was an original when it came out, because it had a killer who talked and wore a mask. He attacked people in their dreams. Introduction of Freddy Krueger. I mean, it was Wes Craven killed it with this one. It's a great, great movie, a horror classic, Nightmare on Elm Street. And number 1, well, is no surprise. It's Halloween. I mean, you can't do any better than this movie. Michael Myers, Dr. Loomis, Laurie Strode. You know, Michael Myers kills his sister on Halloween night. Years later, comes back to terrorize the same town again on Halloween night. Classic movie. The score by John Carpenter is amazing. The simplicity of it is great. It was the night he came home. Halloween, you can't beat it. Alright, so that is my top 20 favorite horror movies. I will be back to do another list. That'll be the top 20, maybe more, maybe less, worst horror movies. That's going to be a hard one. There's a lot of bad ones. Alright, till then, bye.